Whoa, whoa. The bagel was pretty good. Good morning. Welcome back to Tesla Talk Tuesday. Let me just finish my bagel real quick and then get right into it. You see, the real problem with everything bagels is that you get poppy seeds in your teeth. I mean, that's honestly the biggest problem. Otherwise, they're delicious. They are absolutely fantastic. Anyways, welcome back to Tesla Talk Tuesday. Whew. Try saying that 10 times fast in the morning. Anyways, today's a good day. It is Christmas Eve. It is the third day of Hanukkah. It will be the third night, I guess the nights of the celebration. Happy holidays, everybody. Hope you guys are having a great, hopefully maybe days off from school, work, whatever it may be. Yeah, I'm having a pretty good time. The reason is partially due to the fact that Tesla has been hitting all-time highs, and Tesla stock, that is. So, a little over a year ago, Elon Musk tweeted out, funding secured, $420. That was kind of the takeout price, which would have been awesome at the time. However, Tesla has just broken through that $420 price level. So it is currently 9:07 a.m. and needless to say, Tesla is trading at $420.71 pre-market. It closed yesterday at $419.22. It did have a 52-week high of $422.01, and I believe that happened yesterday. So we'll see what happens today. I'm assuming it's going to pop off the open, but this was a nice little pre-Christmas present because, well, disclosure, I am a Tesla stockholder. It's been doing fantastic this year, due in part to, I think it all started, I talked about this I think last week or the week before that in Tesla Talk Tuesday, Model 3 deliveries in China. Those are ramping up. If those can prove to be really good at the end of the year, that could cause a huge pop because of delivery numbers that should be reported in probably about a week and a half, 2 weeks or so. Beginning of January is usually when they're reported. So end of the quarter for Q4. Strong delivery numbers there. Also, I'll get into this in a little bit, but apparently Tesla has received a taxi contract. So a fleet of their Model 3s to be used as taxis. We'll get to that in a little bit. But short squeeze is the biggest thing. There have been so many doubters, haters, people that have been calling Tesla a fraud, which I still don't really get. Because they're obviously selling cars, which means they're obviously making money from those cars. So I wouldn't call it a fraud. It is an actual business. They're doing things. So I don't know where they got that coming from. And I can see the fact that people are saying they're just burning through cash, they're losing money, but they did report a profitable quarter last quarter, which really shot them higher. And well, I'm very curious to see what their delivery numbers are going to be at the end of Q4 because based on their delivery numbers, they could shoot up again. They could have fantastic revenue. They're also doing things like the acceleration boost for the all-wheel drive dual motor non-performance Model 3s. It's a free $2,000 basically to Tesla because it's just a software update. It's cool that they're able to do this stuff. So very, very curious to see what delivery numbers are going to be and what the earnings are going to be like. If the revenues are going to be even stronger or, based on spending habits, they may not be quite as strong as they could have been, but that's part of, building the Shanghai Gigafactory, scaling up, paying more workers to help get these Model 3s in China out the door and all of that jazz. So we'll cover that obviously in a future Tesla Talk Tuesday because none of that is available yet, but let's just get into that taxi stuff. So apparently a taxi company in Düsseldorf, Germany, they are starting to add Teslas to their fleet. They operate a fleet of around 150 vehicles. They just added 2 Model S at a cost of 230,000 euros. They're expecting to add another 50 Model 3s at about 45,000 euros a piece over the next couple weeks. In total, that would be 2,250,000 euros for all 50 vehicles. But what's interesting is they're saying that older vehicles cost about 6,000 euros a year to maintain. And the drivers that are driving these Model S's, at least one of them in the first day already received a 15 euro tip just because they were driving an electric Tesla, or all-electric car, Tesla, and the customer was like, this is fantastic, you're not polluting, the Tesla's awesome, whatever, so they tipped them because of that. So not only is this going to probably lower their overall costs of vehicle maintenance, gas costs, charging as much cheaper than gas, But these drivers might get tipped better because people are not only excited to drive or ride in Teslas, but they're not polluting, and it's a much better option. Something else that's interesting is I think they're trying to push for like electric taxi designated pickup areas. So, for example, if you're at the airport, you could walk to a different line where it's only electric taxis. If you run out of range, you do have to take more time off to charge than you would if you had a gas car, right? If you had a gas car, you could pop into a gas station, fill up in 5 minutes or less. Whereas with an electric vehicle, if you run out of range, you got to stop at a supercharger for at least 40 minutes or so, maybe an hour, just to get fully topped off before you can get back out there. So because of that, you are losing some time. However, the costs are probably very, very worth it. You saved, the $50 in fuel that you'd be putting in the tank. You just sat there for an hour, so you lost some rides. But I guess the real question is, how much are you making per hour, and how much does full, tank of gas cost? And the difference between that and charging your car. Anyway, it's very cool that this taxi fleet is doing that. It will be very interesting to see more and more fleets come out like this, and what the overall costs are with maintaining these electric taxi fleets, and how customers react to it. People start getting tipped more because they're excited to drive in a Tesla. Now that the Tesla truck is out, there's more of a need for this Tesla camp mode that was supposedly talked about. I don't know if there was an official version or not for like the Model S or X a while back, but basically what camp mode does is it allows you to lock your vehicle but leave all of the climate controls on, like AC or heat, for example. If you're sleeping in it, you can turn on and off the interior lights, and you can basically do this while locking your car, and it's technically not on, meaning like it's not in park, drive, reverse, neutral, anything like that. You basically just have access to using the heat, lights, music, all of that stuff. So it's a camp/party mode, and it is officially being rolled out. And I think part of that is due to the fact that the Cybertruck came out, and the Cybertruck is going to, supposedly, Elon has said, Tesla will sell a camper configuration for the electric pickup truck. And I'm looking at it now. It looks very, very similar to what Rivian has put out some pictures of, where you have sort of a sleeper camper in the bed of the truck, and then there's some like pull-out drawers and things like that in order to have like cooking or a table and whatnot. But very neat nonetheless, and it's definitely a nice feature that electric cars can offer. It's not like you have to run an engine with exhaust fumes coming out all night. You just have the electricity running from the battery in the truck or the cars or SUVs, and you get easy AC, cooling, heat, you get music, you get lights, whatever you want to do. You can power stuff with it if there's outlets inside the car. So very useful feature. It's apparently being rolled out, and the Cybertruck will have an available camper configuration that will be sold with it. So pretty excited for this truck to come out, honestly. I think there's going to be a lot of neat things that are going to be able to be done with this truck. And I think that, honestly, some of these straight lines that are very controversial are going to lead to making easy mods for this truck, because it's just very, very simple dimensions to build around. But I guess we'll see what actually comes out other than this camper mode and the Cyber Quad. I'm very excited for that as well. The ATV, the electric ATV that will be an option with the Cybertruck. But yeah, definitely looking forward to this truck coming out. But it's probably going to be 2 years? Who knows? So a while back, I think 2016, GM bought Cruise Automation, which was to help make their cars autonomous. Then in 2018, GM released Bolt, which is their fully electric vehicle with no steering wheel or pedals on either side of the car. Truly an autonomous vehicle that passengers would just get into. You would enter a destination, or maybe you hail it with a ride-sharing app like an Uber or a Lyft. You put in the destination, it picks you up, you get in, and then it just goes. Now, apparently, they're trying to push for this more. They're talking to the NHTSA, National Highway Transportation Safety Administration, something like that. They're talking to them. They're trying to get actual paperwork through so they can start deploying these steering wheel-less and pedal-less, yeah, basically no steering wheel, no pedals, on the roads and actually in use by 2020. So this would be interesting, and this would be a huge push forward with autonomous driving. What this would also mean is that Tesla could most likely push out true full self-driving, fully autonomous, fully autopilot Tesla vehicles where you could actually get in, put in your destination, and as long as their software was up to the task, you could truly hop in the car in your garage. It would be able to pull out, get you to a destination, drop you off, go park itself, or maybe go pick up and drive around other people during the day to make you money, like Tesla's taxi program was talked about a little while ago now, and then come back and pick you up later. Either way, this is very interesting. I'm very curious to see how quickly this gets through, these federal agencies, and to what level or like what areas these can operate in. Because as we know right now, there have been some self-driving car companies using these to do delivery type services or move people around transportation, but it's only in certain like cities that have allowed it. I think Las Vegas and some city in Arizona. I don't know too many others, but I'll be curious to see how national this is, or if it's going to still be sort of on a local basis, on like predefined routes, things like that. Either way, very interesting, great push forward for not only electric vehicles but autonomous vehicles, and I'll be curious to see how Tesla reacts to this as far as being able to push out their full self-driving, more fully autonomous, like put in a destination and it gets you there, no questions asked. So very exciting stuff. And it will be very weird to start to see cars out there with no steering wheels and no pedals. And speaking of autonomous driving, I guess Rivian has recently filed a patent to autonomously transport kids from point A to point B with the intent of it keeps them inside, meaning the doors are locked, you can put them in, and then it sends you a text when it gets there, or if things go bad, and then the door is unlocked and they can get out at the end destination. For example, if you had to take your kids to school in the morning, you could put in the destination, your kids would get in your car, it would be locked, they could be delivered to school and unlocked when they get there. I don't know the full details of how this would work, but I guess it's kind of like those child safety locks, like they can't get out of the car. But the first time I read this, I immediately thought, the title reads, Rivian files patent to autonomously transport kids. Keep them inside, text you if things go wrong. Keep them inside sounds kind of weird, because like, what if something happens to the vehicle? Like, what if a safety mechanism falls through and then these kids can't get out of the car and they're all alone? I don't know. There's definitely going to be issues with this stuff. And like I was saying with the GM push to get no steering wheel, no pedals in the car, there's going to be some interesting things that are going to happen for some of these situations to play out. But I guess it's going to be the new norm. People are going to get used to it. It's not going to be that crazy anymore. And as these self-driving technologies come out, things like this are sort of inevitable and also could be very helpful. Either way, it's definitely going to be neat to see how all of this plays out, and I'm looking forward to it. But I still love driving my P85 Tesla, I'll tell you that much. Now, last but not least, if you guys have been interested in the Porsche Taycan, or interested in how Tesla is better than the Taycan, or the Taycan is better than Tesla, either way, it doesn't matter. The point is they're pushing each other forward with performance, with efficiency, with electric vehicles just in general, charging, all that good stuff. The interesting thing is the EPA did come out recently, and the Taycan came out a while ago, and they were saying it was going to have 250, 280 mile ranges, something pretty good, maybe a little bit more than what my car actually has, which is 5 years old. But what's interesting is the EPA came out after they did their testing, and they said it only has a 201 mile electric range. Now, people are actually getting their hands on these cars. They're taking delivery. You can see them on the road. I missed one, but there was one this past weekend at Hunt Valley Horsepower. It's Cars and Coffee up in Hunt Valley, Maryland, Hunt Valley Shopping Center. And there was a Porsche Taycan there. I really wish I had gone to that one. I haven't been in a while. I'll probably be back once the weather gets nice, especially since I leave for Florida in about a week and a half. Anyways, Taycan owners are saying that 201 mile that the EPA came out with is highly conservative, meaning they're getting much better range than what the EPA has put out there. So that is definitely a good thing, because, a 200 mile range is not great. It's not bad, but it's not great. Granted, my car charges to around 220 some, 230 some miles at like the daily limit. If you go all the way to full, I can get around 250, maybe just over 250 miles. But 201 miles is not that great. However, if Taycan owners are reporting that this is highly conservative, they should be able to get more. The question is, how much more? Is it like 225? Is it like 250? Is it closer to 280? Because that's significant. 280 is,
you're talking about like a 40% bump in range. That's highly conservative in my mind. So it'll be interesting to see more and more of these cars on the road, the range that they're actually getting, the performance numbers that they're doing, and how it sort of either pushes Tesla or how Tesla continues to push them to do better, because, well, 201 miles is not that great. Not having the supercharger infrastructure that Tesla has, that's a huge drawback for the Porsche Taycan. Point being, I can take my car on a road trip next week. I'm not even like thinking twice about it. I know there's superchargers all the way down to Florida, and I don't really have to do much planning or worry about what I'm going to pay. Also, because I have free unlimited supercharging, that is a huge perk. But point being, it is interesting to see sort of the pushback, I guess, that some owners are saying that the EPA is way off. We're getting more range. So I'm really curious to know what the actual range is. But either way, I want to go test drive one of these cars. Looking at it right here, they look fantastic. I'll tell you what, they do look pretty good. I mean, they remind me of the Panamera. So definitely well-styled cars. The interior is very nice. It's a Porsche, great build quality. So yeah, I'll have to go sit in one someday and check it out. I've literally never driven any other EV cars besides the Model S. Haven't driven the Model X, haven't driven the Model 3, haven't driven the I-Pace, haven't driven the Bolt, haven't driven the Kona, haven't driven the e-tron, haven't driven the Taycan. I haven't driven any of these. I've driven in one or two of them. I've gotten like test rides in the I-Pace, and I've gotten a test ride in, I think, the Hyundai, either, did they have a Kona EV, or otherwise it was the Ioniq. Either way, I really need to get out and drive some of these other cars. I don't know, I feel weird walking to dealers because they always pressure you to buy. It's a whole process. Anyways, that's going to be it for today's Tesla Talk Tuesday. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. And well, if I don't get another video out today or tomorrow, happy holidays, Merry Christmas tomorrow. Hopefully people are having happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa. I don't know what other holidays are around this time, but enjoy the holidays, enjoy the time with friends and family. Hopefully enjoy the time off of work. Thank you so much to all the delivery drivers out there that are getting all these packages out. Also the retail people that are working potentially crazy hours. Thank you to the Tesla delivery service, or the Tesla service centers, and all the people that are doing the deliveries for the Model 3s. I guess, and probably some Model S and X's, but majority Model 3s. Yeah, I think I'm done with thanking people. But anyways, have a great holiday season, and I'll see you guys soon. But thanks for watching.